Hi there. Hello, everybody. It's great to welcome you here today for our final closing session for a week of editing climate change topics. It has been a very, very busy week, a very productive week. I'm personally just really glad with how this week has gone, and I can't believe that we have arrived at the end. It's really fantastic. And thank you for taking the journey with us. It's really great to have had such active participants. I know that the Slack channel has been very, very busy, and there's been a lot of interaction. So that's just what we wanted. So that's really great. Just a reminder, I don't know if you remember from the opening session, but my name's Lisa McNamara, and I work on the CDCAN program from South North, an NGO based in Cape Town, South Africa. And CDCAN and FCFA together have collaborated on this Wiki4Climate editathon with a range of very, very inspiring Wikipedia volunteers and mentors. So yeah, that's us. So just to say, this is something that's been a pilot for us. It's been an experiment. It's not something that we've done before. We've run an editathon before, but not something online. So it is really very important for us to get your feedback and to get your input on how we've done and what we can do to improve these things going forward. And your participation in the Slack group and in the daily check-ins are really also what has made it such a dynamic experience. I want to really thank the Wikipedia mentors, to Elizabeth, who has just been keeping that Slack channel going and really so responsive to everyone's queries. Thank you very much. To Euphemia, who's also really been very, very helpful, helping people in the beginning when they we needed to put their usernames behind their Slack names, making sure people were signed up to the dashboard. Thank you, Euphemia, for keeping things going all the way through the week. For Alex Stinson from the Wikimedia Foundation, who's also just been so responsive, always there to help and answering questions at all times of day and night. Also to Femke, who's in the background a bit, who also is a very active Wikipedian and has been helping a lot. Phoebe, Joyce, Jeff. I've noticed a lot of people on the Slack channel, and I really, really just want to say that we couldn't have done this without you. We just simply could not have done it without you. So I don't know if you have felt this at times, but I thought that Elizabeth shared a very funny I'm just going to share my screen. So she shared this very funny little cartoon I thought was very funny in the beginning. Are you coming to bed? I can't. This is important. Something is wrong on the internet. So I don't know if this is something that you relate to and have related to over the last week. I know I certainly have. And it's incredibly empowering to think, oh, I can actually change something that's wrong on the internet. So it's been quite an experience. So I just wanted to run through a little bit of housekeeping for our final session, just to say again that this is recorded. We are making this public on the YouTube and the CDCAN FCFA websites. So please do, be mindful of that. Again, this is a Zoom meeting, so just make sure you're always muted. It's not a webinar function, so we need you to be muted if you're not speaking or participating. Please try not to multitask. And in terms of questions, please post the questions in the chat box at any point during the Zoom session. And then when we do have Q&A, you can also raise your hands. So please just feel free to post your questions in the chat box at any time. And if you do have any technical issues, you can send an email to wiki@South-South-North, or you can direct message the South-South-North team. So sorry. Just in terms of the agenda, we're going to be doing some reflections. We're going to have a nice reflection from a Wiki4Climate editor who has been, just to give her impressions of how the week has gone, and that's going to be from Euphemia. And she's got a video live for us because she might have had a poor connection. So we're going to hear from Euphemia. We've also very, very lucky to have an important person here today who's really taken time out of her very, very, very busy schedule, Musonda, who's going to speak to us a little bit about, what is knowledge, the importance of knowledge in the climate agenda, and, what role climate experts and scientists and researchers should be playing with Wikipedia, and just giving us a bit of inspiration around that. So we're really, really glad to be hearing from her today. We're also going to do some snapshot of, what have we achieved this week? What have we managed to do? So Beth is going to be taking us through that, and just some high level snapshot of what we've been up to and what pages we've managed to edit. And then Alex is also going to deep dive into some of the more detailed edits and, why they're important. And, he's really familiar with the climate change pages, so he can give us a sense of what progress we've been able to make over the last week. We're then going to be announcing our prize winners, which is really exciting. We have 10 prize winners, so we're going to be announcing them, and they're going to be having an opportunity, 5 of them, to speak and to share their experiences with us, and that's going to be very exciting. And then we're also going to discuss, well, what next? So we've done this Wiki4Climate. What does it mean? How can you stay involved with the climate change and the Wikipedia community? We've heard a lot that over the last week that Wikipedia is a community. So, how do you get involved? And Alex is going to give us some concrete ideas for how we do that. And then we're also going to discuss some next steps about what we as the organizers, CDK and FCFA, and the Wikipedia mentors have been talking about in terms of taking things forward in the next few weeks and months. And then we're just going to close. And if you have any outstanding questions, burning questions about how you can get involved with Wikipedia, you can ask them at that point. So before we do that, I want to just get a little bit more from you about your Wiki4Climate experience. So we're going to share a link to Menti in the chat, and you're going to go to menti.com, and you're going to tell us a little bit about how things have gone for you in the last week. So what was your big learning about Wikipedia this week? What did you learn about Wikipedia? It's not that scary. That's great. That's what we want to know. It's easier than I expected. We have agency. Yes, we are. Wikipedia is very empowering because it means that, you can actually add to the global knowledge commons. There's lots to contribute. There's lots to do. There's a lot of work to be done, and there is. There are 2,500 climate-related Wikipedia articles, and there are probably a lot more, because climate change touches on everything, which means that a lot of the content on Wikipedia is actually related to climate. So it means there is a lot of work to do, which is why we need you. Okay, all good things. Some of the screen's quite blurry. I don't know if everyone else is experiencing that, but I definitely need glasses. I'm getting to that point in my life. Great. So we can go. You can go to the next question. It will come up automatically. So what we would like to know, when you leave Wiki4Climate and you go on to do whatever you're going to be doing next, how would you describe Wikipedia to others? What would you say to someone who's quite new to Wikipedia, or maybe someone else in the climate change community who's not even thought about Wikipedia and editing it? An opportunity, yeah. Powerful. Huge. A good academic starting, yeah. So something that's really good to get an introduction to a subject. Comprehensive. Yeah, if you think there's usually a Wikipedia article on something. Great, and I can't read anything that's smaller. But at least the biggest words are empowering, knowledge, and an opportunity, which is good enough. Inclusive, local, global. And I think that's a very important one, actually, is that Wikipedia is a tool to get local information to a global audience. I think one of our participants noted that on Twitter. So I think that's a really important thing to remember about Wikipedia. Great. And then the final one. Do you feel more confident to edit Wikipedia? Yes, no, or maybe partially? Are you going to walk away with this feeling more confident? Hopefully. If not, we've got some next steps and you can keep on going. You don't have to stop now. Okay, so a lot of people are feeling confident, some not so much, and hopefully your confidence will grow. I think it's important to remember that, yeah, it is a bit of a journey. I keep on describing it as a journey because it is quite a complex animal and you do have to get to know it and understand it. Okay, great. So the final bit of feedback we really, really would appreciate from you is if you can please complete the evaluation form. So we are going to share the link in the chat. There it is. And it's really important that you do give us some feedback because we really, this, as I said, is a pilot. So we need some good feedback on what we could do better, what worked well, what didn't work well. And then we also want to get a bit of a sense of your experience over the last week. So it'll take 5 minutes. Most of the answers are multiple choice, so you don't have to write anything. You might be tired of writing by now. But yeah, please do make sure that by the end of today, you do complete that evaluation form. We'll be eternally grateful. Okay, that's it in terms of getting feedback from you. Now I want to move on. So I think we're going to now hear from Euphemia. So Euphemia Yuandu is from Nigeria, and she's going to give us a bit of a reflection about what she's noticed over the last week. What's her perspective on this event? And she's a dedicated Wikipedian, and she also works as an M&E officer for an environmental NGO. And so she's works in the environmental sector and works on projects related to erosion, watershed management. So thank you very much, Euphemia, for sharing your reflections. We're going to play a video now, and just to make sure that
Hello
we can hear from her.
everyone, I'm Euphemia Owandu from the Wiki4Climate team, and I'm here today to share my impression about the week-long edictating. First and foremost, I'd like to acknowledge that this event was a true success. We were able to achieve the set goals for this event. We have been able to build a community of climate change editors whose skills and confidence were enhanced in the course of this event. I remember when we started, many of them were skeptical about what to do and what not to do. But with time, they picked the requisite skills and that grew their confidence. Now, they see the value there is in contributing to this platform, Wikipedia. And their contributions has led to the improvement of about 80 climate change related articles and even started new ones. So I would say that this event was a true learning process. There were a whole lot of learning that took place in the course of this event. But these improvements wouldn't have been possible without the assistance of the team members in the form of mentorship. So I would like to appreciate the team members in a special way. Thank you so much, Elizabeth, the community moderator. You were simply amazing in there. You were such a beautiful soul. Your support and your time was second to none. And thank you so much. This is why we are here today talking about this success. Thank you so much, Alice, for being readily available even at odd times. That meant a whole lot to all the editors. And to the rest of the team, thank you so much for your time and your contributions. To Phoebe, to Joy, Brett, Tiff, Emma, and Lisa, and even myself, our little contributions made a whole lot of difference for this event. And we want to say thank you. To all the editors, this appreciation wouldn't really be complete without mentioning you. You are the true reason why we are celebrating this success today. You are the true reason why we are acknowledging this impact today. So we want to say thank you. Thank you so much for all your time, your expertise, your contribution. They were simply amazing. And we couldn't have been here without them. So thank you so much for your time and effort. And I would like to actually I would like us to actually search within ourselves and ask ourselves, what is the next step? As we're having this closing section today, is that the end of the road for this good work we've started? So I will try to encourage us to actually be here. Let's continue the good work we've started. I will say that even though that we have done a whole lot of work, we are just getting started. We are very far from being finished. So I'm pleading with every one of the volunteers, especially the climate change professionals. We need you and we want you to stick around to continue with this good work. Imagine some of you, the climate change professionals who are in academics. Imagine the feeling. Imagine the excitement it will arouse from your students, knowing that someone, an authority in the climate change profession, is actually the one behind what they're saying on a particular article. I mean, we'll be very close to building the next group of climate change editors who will make a whole lot of difference with this. So we are pleading with every one of us to please stick around. That commitment you have built will serve us a whole lot in changing this narrative around the climate change related articles. Your skills is going to serve us in the long run. And I would also like to add that while we're staying around for this, one of the key success factors that is going to drive success amongst us is the same feature I mentioned earlier, the role of the mentors. And all the team members will be here to support you in the long run. Will be here to support you if you need it. And even beyond the team, there are a whole lot of Wikipedians that are eager to assist you. And that is the beauty of this place. That is the beauty of this community. They have the spirit of mentorship. They have this spirit and eagerness to always put others through. And when you finally benefited from this, you find yourself also being a mentor to the next new editor available. So I would like to thank everyone and say we can do more. Let's continue with the good work we've started. Thank you.
Wow, Euphemia. I think if everyone on this call is not completely ready to go after that appeal, then there's something wrong. That was really amazing. Thank you very, very much, and very, very inspiring. That's great. Thank you for the video. So now I would like to also, it's my greatest pleasure to introduce our next speaker, who has, as I said, she's cleared the next hour in her diary, which is quite a big feat, I think, for this person. Musonda Mumba. She's going to be speaking to us about knowledge and climate and Wikipedia, and we're very, very grateful that she's here today. Just to say a little bit about Musonda, I'm going to post her profile in the chat so that you can also see it. 2 seconds. I find it's nice to read it as well. I'm a bit of a reader, so I like to see it. It's not working though. Okay, I'm going to have to speak. So Musonda is a Zambian national, and she's currently the head of the UN Environment Programme's Terrestrial Ecosystems team. And she actually comes with over 20 years experience in environmental and conservation issues globally. She's really one of Africa's foremost climate leaders. She recently became the new chair of the Global Partnership on Forest and Landscape Restoration. And in her role, she provides strategic leadership on forests and climate change, integrated landscape management approaches, policy support to governments globally, developing appropriate policy dialogue and strategic direction around terrestrial ecosystems. So she really is someone who understands the science and understands the policy environment. She has published widely in various journals, newspapers, articles, and contributed to book chapters. She will also be the UN Environment Lead on Terrestrial Ecosystems for the UN Decade on Ecosystem Restoration, which is the 2021 to 2030. A UN General Assembly resolution that was passed on 1st March 2019. And before working for UNEP, Musonda worked for the Zambian government, Ramsar Convention, WWF, and with governments in Africa, Asia, and Latin America. She received her BSc degree at University of Zambia and her PhD at University College London in wetland conservation and hydrology. And outside her work, her interests include abstract painting, cooking, running, yoga, traveling, mountain climbing, and introducing her children to the environmental world. And she speaks English, French, Bemba, and Kiswahili. Over to you, Musonda. Thank you very much for joining us.
Hi, Lisa. We got disconnected there. I'm back.
Good to know.
Shall I go ahead?
Please do.
All right. Thank you so much for the introduction. Oh, my goodness. Lovely to see all these amazing people connected. And thank you to CDK. And I mean, just for the amazing organization and also for the partner organizations that made this possible. So as you've heard, I work for the United Nations Environment Program based here in Nairobi, Kenya, where the headquarters of UNEP is. And as some of you may know, you're also very familiar that we are a multilateral system agency within the UN that focuses on the environment. And as such, we are also responsible for producing a lot of scientific materials. And so we host different elements of the scientific world, including the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, or other mechanisms, the Global Environment Outlook, all of these that come in like that size of a volume of a report to just give you the state of the environment around the world. But what I'm so honored to and really encouraged to see, and especially after Euphemia made that lovely video and just articulated the role that you play in sharing this information, making sure that this information is accessible, people get access to articles that they can read and get an understanding. What more than a time now when we're in the middle of a pandemic, COVID-19, where we've begun to realize the very relationship that we have with nature, but also the complexity of our landscapes and also the vulnerability of humanity. So here we are, perhaps a test case in terms of, a trial run or fire drill or whatever you may call it. The reality is climate change is real. And it's so great to see all the different authors here and all the different thinkers and all the different experts, but also to see the representation that's happening. But also the reality is that a lot of people from the global south, especially women, are not necessarily involved in writing some of these Wikipedia stories. So please encourage many women, especially young voices, to be involved in this and making sure that we're writing, and we're also demystifying that very science that is seemingly sometimes very elitist and when it should not be, because climate change affects every one of us, regardless of which part of the world you're in. And I'm just so humbled to also be presenting the prizes, and I've seen the names and I've seen the regional representation, and just great to read your profiles and hear about all the different work that you're doing. And sometimes the reality within this climate change sphere is that people who do this writing sometimes are threatened. As we know, even for something we've been championing as an agency, our climate or environment warriors who are out there, young women, older women, men, and youth voices, all of these who've been so responsible for making sure that knowledge gets to people and is accessible. So I'm so looking forward to hearing more and just listening in and learning, and also connecting with new people that I've never met before, and just really making sure that as we move towards 2021, and it's great that it's happening on the 1st of December, because we now have these last days of just dealing with 2020 and the complexity of it. But as we go forward in 2021, what change can we bring to the world? And while it may be seemingly small to you, it isn't small. It's just incredible what you're doing. So please keep up, keep going, and just keep writing and making sure that we share. And I'm able to at least, facilitate sharing a lot of your stories and making sure that people have access to this, and including our own agency and other organizations as well. So I'm really looking forward to the discussions in the coming hour or so. And yes, great to be here. And thank you so much, Lisa, and everyone in the organizing team. I'm really honored to be here. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Doctor, and really honored to have you here joining us. Those were also fantastic words just to frame our conversation and to understand why it's so important and why we're here and why we are climate warriors and knowledge warriors working on Wikipedia. So thank you very, very much. So we're going to now take a look at what have we done this week? What have we managed to achieve? And some of this is really, really fantastic. So I'm very excited to see it. And to learn more. So I'm going to hand over to Beth McKay, my colleague from Wiki4Climate for Africa, and she's going to take us through some of the sort of highlights of the week, and then Alex is going to do a little bit more of a deep dive. Over to you, Beth. I will share my screen for you.
Great. Thanks, Lisa. So yeah, as Lisa said, I'll just be giving a short overview of the contributions so far that have been made to climate change pages in the past week of the Wiki4Climate event. So I'll just wait for the slides to come out. So thanks, Lisa. So from the map here, you can see the diverse range of participants from all over the world that have signed up for the Wiki4Climate event. I mean, 77% were from the global south and 43% were women, and over 70% indicated that they had never edited before. So I think that's a really amazing achievement to see all these people from around the world coming together to edit. So there were participants from Lebanon, Benin, Fiji, Sri Lanka, Togo, and I think it just shows how a virtual event such as Wiki4Climate can have such a diverse and wide-ranging reach, which is, I guess, really linking back to our goals for the event, to increase the number of contributions from the Global South and women, and increasing the available climate information and climate change examples from across the globe. So the largest number of participants came from Nigeria, South Africa, Ghana, Kenya, and India, which is great to see. Next slide, please, Lisa. So what was actually achieved during Wiki4Climate? Well, the event brought together 116 editors from around the world working on 642 climate-related pages and contributing over 2,400 edits. Yeah, that is really an amazing effort towards enhancing the climate change content on Wikipedia. And there were even a few new pages that were created, such as climate change in Kenya and climate change in Tanzania. And we'll, of course, do a full impact analysis and report on all the contributions. And we'll be able to share that with you once it's completed. Next slide, please. So this illustrates the top 10 pages that were edited. So all had more than 40 edits made to them. So coming out on top was a climate change in Kenya page with over 149 edits. Then the climate change in South Africa page, water in Africa page had 92 edits. And then there were edits done to the climate change in Pakistan, Turkey, Sri Lanka. We really had a whole list of pages. These are just the top 10. So yeah, it was really great to see all the contributions to those pages. So now I will hand over to Alex Stinson, who is a senior program strategist at the Wikimedia Foundation, who most of you know by now. And he's really going to take us through the specific edits that were made to some of the Wikipedia pages during the event. Thanks, Alex. Over to you.
Thank you. So you should be able to see my screen looking at climate change and poverty. So if you're interested in finding articles from our event, you can go to the dashboard and actually click on this articles tab. And when you get here, it shows some of the articles. But if you want to dig even deeper, make sure you click the See More button. That'll make sure that it displays all the articles and you can sort them by the numbers of words we've added, the kinds of numbers of references, and their number of page views since afterwards. So as I was browsing, I want to emphasize just how much different kinds of editing happened this week. Some of it was like this on the climate change and poverty article, making the lead section easier to read, adding images, adding a little bit of context so that when someone does read an article, their eyes get caught on these images and they can see the context and they can understand that and really get involved. These kinds of small edits, like adding a paragraph here, fixing a link there, fixing formatting somewhere, these kinds of small edits are the kinds of things that make Wikipedia run. And don't feel like you have to if you want to keep editing, and I encourage everyone to do so. Small edits are what matter. They're the thing that help build a kind of habit. They get you used to working in the Wiki community, and they help you find the bigger things to do, the bigger gaps. And we found some big gaps this week. For example, the water article, Water in Africa article, had basically no images in it, and the introduction was very confusing. And we were missing information about groundwater, about surface water, that availability. We did not have some of the kind of context about how water scarcity and the climate change is affecting water scarcity. This information was all added by you, and it was really, really phenomenal. And we've illustrated and given context to something that's really important to people's lives. And I think that's like the opportunity we have as climate communicators is think like, what makes these articles really more valuable and easier for others to use? We also wrote the climate change in Nigeria article. Congratulations, this did not exist. This is one of the most populous countries in the world, and we didn't have any information about that context. It really matters. We wrote it, we started it just last week, and this article is wonderful. It's beautiful, and I'm sure many people are going to be reading about it. Similarly, we saw a lot of information that was very relevant to the context that many of you are working and coming from and expert in. So I recently have been working on the smallholding articles, our small scale agriculture. And it's really great. So previously, the main lead image on this article was this generic portal image for agriculture, which is from ancient Egypt. And it was a terrible image to illustrate this article. It's the worst thing for a reader to see when they first enter Wikipedia. Now, front and center, we see women farmers, some of the most impacted individuals in the world, at the front of the story when we think about climate change, when we think about disruption to our food systems. And agriculture is at the center of how many communities are going to be affected by climate change. And just to have better stories, better examples from Kenya, for example, is really, really powerful. We also saw expansion of kind of key technical concepts like climate smart agriculture and disaster risk reduction. These concepts are thrown around. For example, this was one edit that added a paragraph to make sure that we understood exactly how disaster risk reduction connected to climate change adaptation. These kinds of technical concepts are often thrown around in, say, international treaties, international conversations by researchers, and when the public goes looking, they land on Wikipedia because they don't know what these concepts are. When they're reading a work, they're reading a book, and they see those connections, they need to come somewhere where they can see a simple summary of what does that mean? How does it work? And that's what happened is a lot of these like technical concepts like climate smart agriculture were improved, greatly improved, and it was really, really awesome. We saw, similar to the water article, we saw the water scarcity article actually have a lead introduction that someone, if they land on this water scarcity in Africa, they actually can understand what the problem is rather than just get bombarded with a general overview of water scarcity. And again, there were lots of kind of tweaks and improvements here. The climate change in Sri Lanka article was completely rewritten. The article before that was really not that good. We also saw a lot of names get added to the Women and Climate Change page on Wikipedia, which is really important for diversity of international representation. And then we also had a few articles related to the science of climate change adaptation get improved. For example, this article on enhanced weathering, a method for CO2 capture. I think all of these give hints to exactly how many different types of things are connected to climate knowledge that need to be improved on Wikipedia. Each of these articles, just in a few days, could have just a little bit more work on them and be significantly better. And I think like I'm like Femke and other editors that were here supporting you during this event. Like we're editing every day and we're finding gaps everywhere. And so really I just encourage you to like be inspired by what happened this week, but also think like where can you fill another gap? Because there are plenty of them. And we really need your help, and we need your help finding other climate communicators who can do that. So back to the CDKN team. But I think these contributions were really great.
Thank you, Alex. That's incredibly inspiring and fantastic to see. And it's such a visual medium, actually, where you can see the edits live. You know, you can see what's been changed. And I think that's also great that you can see the difference with Wikipedia, that everything is recorded. You know, everyone's contribution is recorded, and you can see how the page develops over time. So it's kind of a mechanism to keep everybody in check. And then also just to like work together as a community editing. And as an editor, I'm such a like geeky editor. I get so excited by that sort of ability to see things as they develop over time. So really congratulations wholeheartedly to everybody for being able to do that this week. I now we are at the moment we've been waiting for, where we're going to announce the prize winners. So this is very exciting. Before we do that, I just want to quickly recap what the criteria were and what the prizes, will involve so that we all remember. So if you can give me 1 second, I'm going to share my screen. And bear with me. Okay, so the prizes are of the value of $50 in vouchers. So we will be contacting the prize winners to discuss what they would like to spend their vouchers on. And at least 6 were going to be awarded to women and to Global South participants, just because we know of the gap in terms of the gender gap and both the Global South gap on Wikipedia in terms of contributors. And the judging was done very, very carefully. And we looked at a combination of the quality of the edits, the depth of information added, but you didn't necessarily need to add reams and reams of information either. We also looked at, of course, at the whether you were providing information on the Global South. Also, if you were just providing, adding images or citations, that was very valuable because we did identify that as a task. So it was quality and quantity, but not just quantity. And then also we were very keen to see some content added related to gender and social inclusion concerns. So that was also considered. So there was quite a bit that went into it. There were some really clear winners who've been very active over the last week. So congratulations. I'm going to hand over to Dr. Mumba to take us through the prize winners, and she's going to be doing the announcing and giving everyone an opportunity to speak about what they managed to do over the last week. We unfortunately, just due to time concerns, we can only have 5 prize winners speak, but we will let you know who everybody else is. And yeah, it would be really great to just hear from the prize winners to get a sense of their impressions and what they managed to do this week and who they are.
Great, thank you so very much, Lisa. I'm just wondering, so shall I announce all the names and then ask the top 5 to talk about, or is it announce the name and then the individual speaks? How would you like it?
I think maybe you can announce all the names together and then the prize winners can speak.
Brilliant, thank you so very much. Well, this is absolutely fantastic, and congratulations to all of you. So I'm going to start the announcement. The first one is Karina Mondragon from Colombia, and we're hoping that she's up early and she can join us here. And then I really am hoping I do not mutilate your names, but Degesin Mohammed from Nigeria. Welcome and congratulations. Precious Obi, also from Nigeria. And Serene Mohammed Mukhaled from Lebanon. Welcome. Vidur Mital from India. And other winners include Wando Odolphus from Nigeria, Juliana Lanyero from Uganda, Fatima Al-Hissini from Lebanon, Rohil from India, and also Kerry. I think Kerry is from Sri Lanka, I understand. So if we can start with, is Karina online? Do we know if Karina has joined us? Perhaps she hasn't, since she's not coming forward. Can we go to Badagassin Mohammed from Nigeria? If you can give us a few minutes and tell us about your... Is Badagassin here?
Yes,
Mohammed?
I'm here.
Brilliant, well done. So over to you, just a couple of minutes to tell us about this work. Thank you.
Okay. Good afternoon to everyone. It's really a pleasure to be here and to join every other contributors during this editing. I was able to work on 3 articles, namely climate change and gender, which I was able to add to the case study session. Madagascar happens to have a very unique profile among countries. 80% of plant and animal species in that country can never be found in any other part of the world. So it's piqued my attention. So I worked on it under the case study of that article. The second article which I worked on was women in climate change. I was able to add a number of women that have contributed immensely to climate change, and, and their contributions are very valid considering the impact they are having. The third article which I worked on was an eye-opener for me coming from Nigeria. The article is Climate Change in Kenya. I was able to relate with the impact climate change is having in Kenya, and my real focus was the impact, and from verifiable source, the the impact it's having for people on ground. It's not just about generic information about what climate change is, but what people are feeling presently about climate change. So I really feel happy about being able to write this article, and it's an eye opener for me. I thank the contributors for giving us the necessary support to make these contributions. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Badagasin. This is really fantastic just hearing from you all this work that you've been doing. Brilliant, all the 3 articles. Can I call on Precious, please? Precious Obi from Nigeria. Precious, if you're here, tell us a little bit. Over to you, Precious. Yes, we can hear you.
Hi, everyone. Thank you. Hi, everyone. I just want to say, concerning the climate change, I didn't, sorry. So I noticed the climate change in Nigeria. Nobody wrote anything on it, and I decided to research and see what I could find. And then I discovered that year after year, the country is getting hotter and hotter, and then the impact of the impact the change in climate has affected both the agriculture and economic sector in the terms of farming, fishing, and the rest. Anyways,
We can hear you. Okay, it seems we just lost Precious there. Precious, are you still there? Okay, it seems we might have lost her, but we can come back to her. Serene, are you here?
Hello. Yes, I am. I would like
Congratulations.
to thank you so much for this amazing experience and this amazing chance to be one of the contributors to this amazing event. It was very important for me, so in which I teach English language for grades 10 and 11, and we basically focus on themes of environmental issues, especially things related to climate change and how it affects the globe in general. And we always focus on ways in which we could reduce certain pollutants, any sort of things related to the environment. And this was really an amazing experience. This was still new to me. I didn't know how to work on Wikipedia as an editor. I always used to read articles on Wikipedia, but never edited before. So it was kind of new to me, but thank God everything was like let's say worked smooth, and the organizers really helped a lot. I was blocked for a couple of days because of my IP address, but it was configured, thank God, again. So basically, I would really like to thank you again a lot for this amazing experience.
Thank you, Serene. Congratulations again, and well done for teaching those young minds their amazing work that you're doing. Vidur Mittal, are you here, Vidur?
Yeah, hi, I'm here.
Hi, welcome and congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, so I really don't have a lot to say. So yeah, hello everybody. I'm from India. So I edited articles mostly, pertaining to climate change in South Asia and India. And so I edited this article on climate change in Bangladesh. So yeah, so mostly I was focusing on South Asia, but also other than that, I edited other, random articles which I found which needed improvement in various aspects. And yeah, so overall it was a great experience. I had never edited a Wikipedia article before this, but now I feel like, I have the confidence to do that in the future and continue, and I definitely will continue. And in terms of, I think one thing I learned is that a resource like Wikipedia is extremely important when it comes to tackling a problem like climate change in terms of sharing information, and especially sharing information from different local perspectives on a global platform. That is something that I have learned, and I think I will attempt to spread going forward. And in fact, I told one of my friends about this event, and he is actually one of the other award winners. So yeah, it's something which is good to spread, and I think I will do that in the future. So yeah, that's it.
Oh, thank you. Fantastic. That's great news. I wonder if we've got Precious back online again. Precious, are you there? Well, it seems that we lost Precious. I'll just hand over to you, Lisa, if you can just go ahead.
Yes.
Yeah, no, this is just absolutely wonderful. Thank you so much.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Mumba. That was great. And I think we actually have more time. So maybe we can hear from a few more of our winners. I see that Fatima's on the line, and she was a winner, and she was very active in the Slack channel. So it'd be great to hear from you, Fatima.
Hello, everyone. Actually, this is not my first time winning. I won the previous one in September 2020. So this is contagious. I couldn't but try over again. And I feel that I am important to someone in the world out there in Africa. So this means a lot to me. And it really gives me empowerment, like if you want to say that these little things are really making a difference. So thank you for this opportunity. It means a lot to me on the personal level. And of course, when it means to someone out there or a community out there, it's more than enough.
Fantastic. Well done. Congratulations. And congratulations to all of you. I think we also have another person on the line, Karina, who's actually our mysterious Kerry. So we're very glad we've tracked you down.
Thank you. I'm really glad to be here, and I'm glad that I'm now I'm not lost. I'm not sure what happened. Anyway, I'm really glad to be part of this community, having this opportunity to be able to make a difference. This was my first time here, and before I really viewed Wikipedia as something else, it was very difficult for me to edit, but due to everyone's help, Fatima's help, and Alex and everyone in the Slack, it was such a very beautiful experience. And
I'm wondering if we lost Karina, if she wanted to say some more. Great, thank you very much. That's fantastic. I think we've heard from everyone. Is there anyone who's on the line who's a winner and who would like to say anything?
I think I might have seen Juliana there. Is it linear?
Juliana, great. Yeah. Hi. There's so many faces.
Hi. Be part of this editathon. It's my first time editing. And I must say, the first week of the editing, I was just browsing through articles. I had no idea what to do, but I'm very intrigued by climate change. I work with the Young Farmers Federation of Uganda. So this year we've been attacked by the desert locust. We had fall armyworms. So I got very intrigued to be a part of this editathon, and I've learned so much over the few days that I've been able to edit. And I've invited a number of my friends in the agriculture.
I think we lost Juliana momentarily, but she was about to tell us about how she's going to invite everyone she knows to edit Wikipedia. So that's fantastic news. Really great. Congratulations, everybody. It's been, we couldn't have, it was just such a great week. So great that everyone's been so enthusiastic and participated so actively, and you've made it a success, really. So thank you. Fantastic. Okay, so now we're going to talk a little bit about what's next. What does this all mean here? What can we really do in a practical way to take this forward? And how can we get involved with the Wikipedia community? So the best person to talk to us about that is Alex, who's also edits in his volunteer capacity and works on the Wiki project Climate Change group, and they're quite an active group of editors. So he's going to give us a little bit of a sense of how you can get involved and what you can do. So over to you, Alex. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much. And do you want to share that last slide with the list of actions too?
Yes, I'll do.
Yeah. So it's really amazing that everyone got a chance to stick around and edit. This is really important. As I think we've emphasized on multiple occasions, a lot of the editors on Wikipedia, for a lot of structural bias reasons and whatnot, have backgrounds similar to mine. They're from a very privileged country, frequently male, frequently highly educated, frequently technology background of some sort, and anything we can do to build the diverse community that can actually reflect the diversity of knowledge in the world is really important. And you were all part of that. And by building a community that support each other, that bring different perspectives, that pay attention to different topics that like other people on Wikipedia are not paying attention to is so, so important. And we need to keep doing that. We need to keep looking for the voices and the strong kind of the activists and the climate researchers and the experts and the communities advocating for the public to know about climate and sustainability issues around the world. We need to bring them into spaces like Wikipedia. I think they mentioned earlier, and we mentioned at the beginning, there's about 98 million page views a year to this climate content on Wikipedia, and there's even more articles around the climate content that billions of page views every year that really need to be worked on. They need to see that connection. So how do you do that? First, CDKN did a really great job at putting together a handbook for climate experts to get involved in editing Wikipedia. This is a great tool. We're gonna be for you to learn and share with your peers. Do share it, connect people with CDKN and Future Climate for Africa. They're really great advocates for this work. Additionally, we're going to keep the Wiki4Climate Slack channel around. We'll be actively moderating it in the short term, and I believe we're going to be keeping it alive for future events. So there might be opportunities to re-engage on that channel. Pay attention to it if you can. Also, that Wiki Project Climate Change on Wikipedia is English Wikipedia is a great place to sign up if you're going to be on Wiki, and let us know that you're active. There's a group of us who are editing almost every day for climate change stuff, and it's good to see who else in the community is there. And we can definitely connect with you, give you advice and help. We also have a larger group that's focused on more than just climate change, but it spends a lot of time looking at sustainability and climate change, which is the Wikimedians for Sustainable Development. This is your a Wikimedia user group that is focused on the Sustainable Development Goals, advancing knowledge of those in every language around the world. These organizers are connected throughout the Wikimedia movement. Many of them are, if you can't find a local group or someone working in your context on this stuff, the organizers in that group will be able to connect you. It's full of organizers who've been in the Wikimedia movement for years from all around the world. And so they're a really powerful group of allies. And we have a Telegram channel that is the main communication channel. So when we're not running an event like Slack, where there's multiple conversations going on at once, the Telegram channel is great because you can ask a question, get a response, and like see the newsletter, see an update for a new event coming up, and see these more kind of active direct channels. And then I invite you to look for your local Wikimedia affiliate. We have about 140 around the world. Many of them are focused on different topics. They're also geographically located. There's communities in the Levant. There's communities throughout sub-Saharan Africa. There's communities in India. Each of them has a group and a different focus, and they can help you kind of connect with other editors in your context. So we really invite that to happen. Also, keep talking on the Wiki4Climate hashtag. We're going to kind of ramp that up starting in the new year and use it to tell more stories about climate change. On whatever social media platform you are on, we want to connect the Wikipedia and climate change story. And then keep an eye out on these various communication channels for an invitation to participate in Earth Day activities. We are going to be organizing a bit more of a editathon like this that's more global and more languages, focus potentially on kind of human impacts of climate change. So keep an eye out for that. I also believe Elizabeth is running a project that has kind of a global goals to work on climate knowledge. And so she might tell you a little bit more about that. But keep an eye out for these opportunities. We want you to stay around in this community. Everyone in the Wikimedia movement loves to support new participants, and we really like to have you. So thank you so much. It's been very, this editathon was phenomenal in terms of content and the work we did, so thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Alex. And I think, yeah, there's definitely some concrete actions to get started with. So also, if you feel that there are other things that we could be doing to really kind of connect the Wikipedia and the climate change communities, let us know. We're always open to suggestions and thoughts. So yeah, so essentially what we're really trying to do is connect these two communities together, and the Wiki4Climate branding and banner is a great way to do that. So please do use it, use that hashtag, and we have a Twitter handle as well, so that's fantastic. And I just want to, yeah, I think there are also a few links you can look in the chat. So we've linked to all these things if you want to find out more. There's the Wikimedians for Sustainable Development Telegram group, the Wiki Project Climate Change link there in the chat as well. The affiliates link where you can find your local user group is also in the chat. So there's lots of resources that you can start off with. There's lots to do as usual with Wikipedia. So I just encourage everyone to follow up. And then very, very importantly, know that for the next 2 weeks, Elizabeth is going to be moderating the group actively. So she will be there. If you feel like you haven't quite got enough done this past week, and you feel like you've got more editing in you, and you want to get some support, and you have some burning questions, please do make use of the Slack channel and the opportunity to get some very, very quality hands-on advice from some mentors and experts. So please do make sure you make use of that. We will be keeping the Slack channel open for much longer than that, but it's just the next 2 weeks where Elizabeth is going to be really sort of hands-on looking at that and able to help you. So please do make use of that opportunity. I just want to thank again all the mentors and the Wikipedia experts. I want to thank again all the participants, the prize winners, and Dr. Mumba for being here today to congratulate them, and yeah, the whole community for coming together. This is a very dynamic community, and it's the more you learn about Wikipedia, the more you want to know. So yeah, I just want to wish everyone well going forward. All the best for your future editing life. And we really do hope to have similar events in future. So make sure that you complete that evaluation form so we can get some feedback, so we can know what we need to do differently, do better. You've also got an email address on our project page, our Wikipedia project page, where you can get hold of us if you have any suggestions. If you've missed something, let us know. Yeah, we're around, and we're also on the Slack channel. So yeah, that's it. Without further ado, I just want to, I'm going to close the meeting and thank everybody. Oh, do we have time to let Razai say a few words? Razai, would you like to say a few words?
Yeah, hi. I wasn't actually expecting to be called on, but yeah, so I think mostly what's already been said has been pretty exhaustive as far as what I've learned and I've taken away from the experience. So I was the one who was mostly editing the climate change in Pakistan page with one other user. And I guess since everybody kind of naturally filed into the context they're familiar with, it was just, it was appropriate that I was close to a similar context. So I'm from India, and there's that similarity. So I thought it'd be easier for me to kind of become comfortable with the interface and the process of editing. And yeah, I think the only thing I can, like, I joked about this with my friend, is that it's good knowing that like at least a few students in Pakistan will now plagiarize what I've written and do well in a project. So it's a good feeling, right? There's something for posterity.
Yes, you are rest assured of that. Oh, that's a good note to end off on, a humorous note. And this is the problem, is that Wikipedia's got this sort of, oh, you know, if you're a student, you're going to use Wikipedia and you're going to plagiarize. But just to know that, yeah, the quality of that plagiarism is going to be exceptional.
Thank you for that. And yeah, I also take this chance to just thank the organizers, because yeah, it was a very well organized event. Like I never felt that there was a dearth of information that I could access myself and that I didn't need to ask for it. There was already a lot of documentation to kind of help me along. So it's very well done. Like I'm very impressed at the amount of just the expansiveness of all the suggestions and all the documentation that exists. So yeah, thank you for that. Great opportunity.
That's wonderful to hear. Thank you. And congratulations. And congratulations to you all for getting through the week. And we hope to see you soon. You will not hear that. This will not be the end.
Bye.
Right. I think cue the music.
Bye.